When you think of secondary weapons in Warframe, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe like a cool pistol, or some throwing knives, or whatever the hell the Atomos is? Whatever the case, there will always be a secondary weapon that gets the job done for you. Some secondary weapons are a shiny gold nugget in a bunch of dirt, and the rest of the secondary weapon lineup is, in fact, the dirt. But that's besides the point. I was thinking to myself one day while playing Warframe, what is the most forgettable secondary weapon we have in this game so far? Now, for you, it could be anything. It could be the Seer, it could be the Hind, or Hind. I never found out how to pronounce that one, honestly. Or perhaps you're just like me, and you really, really hate the fucking stug. I hate this weapon. I hate it so much, and I'm gonna tell you why. The Warframe wiki reads that the stug is an automatic Grineer pistol that fires corrosive blobs that stick to surfaces and explode. A good concept on paper, but once you put it in Warframe, it makes me want to snap this fucking pistol in half with my bare hands while equipping the Prisma Obex. It's slow, it's complicated, it fires these stupid little blobs and make them explode at whatever time it wants to. And it has baby poo green as one of its colors! Okay, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and whine and bitch and complain about the stug for 2 minutes straight. That's just not how I do. But I will tell you everything I hate about this weapon. Starting with its shitty design. The stug is weird. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of Grineer weapon designs in this game are already really weird enough. From attaching duct tape on things to just... I don't even know what the hell this is supposed to be. But the stug takes the cake for weird design. I'm looking at a picture of the stug right now, and I can already tell all of the weird problems that it has in its design. It has one of those weird retractable plastic robot arms from Dollarama. It has a weird bulbous growth, which I can only assume is where the ammo comes from. And it has this little teeny tiny nozzle, which is kind of ironic considering the blobs it shoots out of this gun are fucking huge. I've already talked about the stug's shitty colors. Mind the pun. So we're just gonna skip that and move straight on to its terrible, shitty mechanics. I'm just gonna start with the basics. The fire rate on the stug actually isn't that bad. Its primary fire is an automatic shot, so you can just hold down the left mouse button and just keep firing these little goobers at anything you see move. The problem that arises in the stug most is its really, really bad alt fire. The first thing to address is that this alt fire is really slow. And just to prove it to you, I took off my fire rate mod for this. And once the big blob comes out, it takes longer to explode than the regular blobs from the primary fire. Speaking of explode time, shooting the blobs in one place and making them go on top of each other makes them take longer to explode! Okay, DE, level with me. Why is this a thing? You know all of your players shoot something in the head until it dies, right? So why would you design a mechanic around only being able to shoot it in the head once? The stug is not a Rubico! I don't want my enemies to be killed slower! The next thing we're going to talk about is how the stug's reticle doesn't work at all. Normally, in video games, when your character has a projectile weapon, the projectile travels into the reticle, albeit it has travel time and usually goes in an arc. This is completely understandable. It's going to help your eye track where the projectile is going to potentially land. We have this in Warframe with rocket launchers and bows as well. But, naturally, the stug doesn't give two shits. For some strange, fucked up, unknown reason, the stug's projectiles like to veer off into the left corner of the screen. Not only is this going to give players potential misinformation of where they're actually aiming, but this might also get them killed by an enemy as well. Why is it so hard to just make the Stug's blobs travel into the reticle? Thank God this video is almost done. If I have to go on for another 2 minutes, I'm probably gonna break my chair in half. Hey everyone, how you doing? Today we have a new special segment. It's called Why That's Bullshit, and today my special guest is the Stug. Now in this segment we have a series of clips and you are going to watch them, and at the end you will decide, is that bullshit? And why is that bullshit? Now in this first clip we have a very charming and utterly beautiful, gorgeous Equinox casually making her way to a piece of Frame Fighter character data. Who knows what she'll get? I mean, it's not as if Frame Fighter has been irrelevant since its release, but you know, that's besides the point. So as you can see, she's making her way there and oh, look at this. There's some enemies blocking her path. Now she's going to shoot the Stug and hope to God that it is fast enough to murder all of these evil foes that stand in her way. But you know what, fuck that shit. This player is going to come in and kill them instantly before the Stug's explosions have any time to take effect on the enemies. Now tell me, audience, is that bullshit? The answer is yes, that is in fact bullshit. You are correct. As you can see in this next clip, the beautiful and dashing Equinox is using the Stug once again to murder her foes. Until, oh, what's this? Something seems to be in the way of our Equinox's vision. It is a rhino. This omni-voice looking ass motherfucker is in the way of our Equinox. Not only that, but he also seems to have been shot multiple times by the Stug's corrosive blobs. Will this end horribly for our hero? Of course it fucking will, because the Stug has self-damage and our Equinox will fall straight to the ground in shame. Oh yeah! Did I mention the Stug self-damages?